he did.
I got Paul.
Thumbs up.
Oh, and I did see Kate too. Sorry.
Oh, whoever.
Great.
All right, so give me a roll call on that.
Karen?
Yep.
Josh? Paul?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
And Larry?
Larry is trying to get in. He said he's waiting for someone to let him in. So I don't know if you can assist with that, Mr. Pope.
I will get him in.
Okay, doke.
Okay.
So does that cover everything that you needed? No, record disposal.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're muted. You're muted, Lisa.
Oh, you're muted.
Wonder how that happened, because I didn't. We
Technology.
almost got through one meeting this morning without anybody saying, you're muted. Almost, clear at the end. Yeah, just, you're muted. Okay. I need approval of the disposal. The first sheet is items that have to be sent to the Ohio Historical Society for approval before we can dispose of them. The rest of them are just for your information, what we're getting rid of
Mhm.
next year. Just need approval for that.
Okay. Need
So-
an approval. Paul? Paul
Paul?
will. You need a second?
I'll second.
Kate?
Roll call?
Karen?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Paul? Larry? Not yet.
Not yet.
Kate?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Okay. That, what else? Anything else? Nope, we're good.
Just need to adjourn.
To adjourn this meeting.
4:05.
So moved.
Raymond, and then I need
Second.
Kate.
Is that Kate?
Yeah,
Yes.
me.
All in
Okay.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okey-doke. All right. We can move on. Is Larry with us?
He is still having trouble. He says he's logged into Office and he is waiting for someone to let him in, but he is not showing up in either state as
I
being
sent-
logged in.
I sent him an email with direct links to the meetings. All he needs to do is click on the link and he should just pop right in.
Okay.
Maybe he's doing the executive session meeting accidentally like I
I
did.
will jump over and check.
Just maybe give him a call if you have a second, Mike.
Yeah, make sure he's going for the right one. Well, we'll just go ahead and we'll call it to order.
Okay.
Do a roll call.
Sure. Karen?
Yep.
Josh?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Kate?
This is 406.
Raymond?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes. Here.
Larry? Not yet. Okay.
All right. Let's see, approval from the regular board minutes on October 21st, and we can roll that in with the special board minutes on the 23rd and the special board meeting on November 6th. I'll just,
Is that Paul?
yeah,
Paul? Yep.
I'll second.
Thank you.
I suppose it's a roll call with that.
Okay. Karen?
Yep.
Josh?
Yes.
Paul? Kate?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Larry? Not yet.
All right, communications.
So you have, I'm sorry, I'm still trying to communicate with Larry. I'm going to let Mike deal with this from now on. So you have a letter from OLC. You have a thank you letter from Habitat from stuff that we've given them for the different libraries from the different buildings. A letter from Diana and an email from Joyce Nestor. Beyond that, We've had some phone calls. We did have a communication phone call that I shared with, I think I shared with folks last time, from the neighbor who owns the parcel next to Bainbridge. And we walked the site and talked about what we could do to remedy the light pollution or unpleasant light situation. I think we have Larry finally.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Yes, sorry
Okay.
about it, folks. I've been trying.
Okay. That is all for communications.
Alrighty.
Oh.
Yep.
Other than the, you saw it in the back of the pack. You've got the thing about the gas line easement from the neighbor at Thompson, and that's just the prosecutor reviewed that, and that'll be later in the packet. It's something that has to be voted on and has to be signed by the president and the secretary.
Oh, so we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Gary Templin. That's it.
All right. The approval of the agenda. I know already we have executive session that's being added in as number 16. And 17 will be adjourned then. Does anybody else have anything to put in? No? Then I need an approval of the amended agenda.
I move that we approve the amended agenda.
Okay.
I'll second.
Paul seconds. Oh, sorry. I saw Paul first.
Yes, since there's money involved all over. Roll call.
Okay. Karen?
Yep.
Josh?
Yes.
Paul? Larry?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Okay. Fiscal officers report.
All right, I need approval of the disbursements and gifts disbursements in the board packet.
There were gifts.
Were there gifts? Yeah.
There was a gift. It was a nice gift. I move that we accept the gift.
Yeah, Erwin donated handmade rocker.
Oh, the rocker. Okay, that's
Mhm.
right. I forgot. Yeah,
And then there was something from the Thompson, $1,400.
the friends. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. I need a motion to accept.
I move that we accept the gifts.
And Paul, are you second?
Are we doing the disbursements along with that?
I was hoping to. Okay, are we doing that? Are we doing that all together?
I think I can say yes to approving that we should approve the disbursements as well. How about?
That's good. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Did I have a second?
Paul's the second.
Great. All right. Any discussion? Okey doke. Roll call.
Karen?
Yep.
Josh?
Yes.
Paul? Larry?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Jake?
Yep.
All right, and then I hope you all saw my email with the contracts attached for the electric and the gas. I can't get them into the board packet because they have to be approved within 1 day after they send them out. So do you want me to go over it? Did everybody see it or no?
That's all right.
I saw it.
Yeah, it's a small savings. The only odd thing is that this contract doesn't start until
2021.
You know
Wasn't it?
what? My email was,
I thought it said January.
my email said 2021. Did the contract say 2021? I think it's 2022. It's early. Let me pull it. I've been going back and forth with this for I don't know how long. It doesn't, I'm sorry, it doesn't start until 2022. So we're renewing like a year early.
Oh, okay.
But that's on the advice of the broker saying that, they're just gonna go up. It is at a cheaper price than what we're paying right now.
Oh, okay. All right, so we're working a year ahead.
A year ahead, right? She wanted to do them like 18 months ago, and I wouldn't do it, but she kept at me.
Yeah, really? Okay, all right. So we need approval for the contracts.
Paul, okay.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Raymond. All right, any further discussion on the contracts? If not, then I need,
Karen,
yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Kate,
Yep.
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to go through the miscellaneous? We're going to receive another refund from BWC, and this is supposedly the largest one so far. We've gotten 2 already. So evidently they're making money out there. Not sure how, but they're giving it back, so it's good.
We'll take it.
And then I gave you a little update on the 2 grants and the spending so far. Mini grant should be almost done. That was just $3,000. And the CARES Act, we still have an estimated remaining balance of over $33,000, but for the CARES Act, we can go backwards and refund ourselves. So there's 2 different places I could refund that from. So even if we don't get any more equipment, we would be able to zero out
Oh, okay.
that fund by the end of the year. We did purchase, I think the biggest thing, well, the picnic tables and then the HVAC ionization systems for all the buildings.
Okay.
And that's it.
Sorry about that. Why? Put his on, sure, but I guess okay, we're good with you. Thanks. All right, Director.
So there is a small change order. If I'm correct, it's a negative. And I think we'd mostly be okay. They were talking about moving that dirt, and in the end, I think the dirt pile ended up being just as much as they needed to do. There didn't end up being a dirt pile left over when it was all said and done. So that worked out well. So with Thompson, the building is open. We did give a number of tours. I don't know if everybody was able to click that link to do the virtual tour through that was on the website. If you didn't, take a moment and look at that. That was through the company Multivista that they did exact built photos and drawings of all of our buildings as they were being constructed. So we would know where the gas lines are, the water lines, the electric, what was behind a wall, where the studs were, all the way through the whole project. So that was just another one of the things that they can do, and they did that for us. Let's see. Yeah, we did have some leaks, but those were remedied. We still, as far as I know, that lamppost has not been replaced yet after that was knocked down. I think Patrick Jelly does have recommendations for door counters as solutions because we didn't have electric. And that's one of the things we totally overlooked was door counters. We would normally have an outlet there so that you could plug in something that would be a beam as you go across. And in both situations at Bainbridge and Thompson, we completely didn't even think about that until the end, which I don't know how we overlooked it, but we did. At Bainbridge, you will have seen that the building was demolished. They were doing grading for the parking lot. We had to do the special board meeting to approve the finger drains. Later, we saw that the finger drains were recommended by the third-party testing company, but I don't remember what it was, something with the engineers. There was justification. I think a couple of you were on that meeting when we talked about it with Scott. So that is done, and all the other stuff in here you'll see. There will be an opportunity to take a tour of the building, as always, if you haven't seen it. The folks who live in proximity, I don't know. I know that you saw it a long time ago, Josh. I don't remember if you've walked through it, Raymond. I know Karen and Kate both were down there with us. And I think when Josh was last there, it was a long time ago. It's totally different now. So
It looks wonderful.
if you have time, man, take a walk through. And then there's some other stuff in here about things that went on. But I wanted to just touch base with you that since this report was sent out, we've had just within the system, this is just kind of, I'm not giving names, but I'm saying we've had our own coronavirus issues. We've had COVID positive employees in locations, and we have employees who are quarantining. We're not seeing what some libraries are. I just got an email right before this meeting started that, well, we had McKinley Memorial that was closed for 14 days. And we just heard that another library in Trumbull County is closed until December 2nd. I think in these situations, they have such a small staff that if one person got exposure, they're in such proximity that they just felt it was safest to close the buildings for those entire 14-day periods while everyone quarantined. And one of the things that we're saying is this is probably what the next few months are going to be like with a lot more of this. So it's been a little frantic. We are communicating with the health commissioner and the department, the local health department is helping do contact tracing and sending out letters. And Chris Reed is taking care of this all on her shoulders. She has worked heroically over these last few days. So just giving you the heads up that it is here in the county now. And that is what I have.
Okay. Chris, thank you.
Okay,
Chris?
I have a correction to my report on page 2, the statistics. I attributed all of the statistics in the entire system to Thompson, and that should read GCPL. So those are system-wide statistics for the whole system. And I did want to bring your attention to that Chardon and Middlefield, that while they're still under what they were last year, they're getting fairly close to their pre-COVID numbers in circulation. So those 2 branches are really packing in as much work as possible in our reduced hours, and everyone's doing a wonderful job, but those 2 branches are nearing pre-COVID circulation rates. 65% of our employees decided to increase their hours to 75%, going up from 50% when we offered that. And those extra hours have gone a long way to ease some scheduling concerns and to also help fill the gaps when we have people who are out quarantining because they've been exposed. So that's really come in handy time-wise. And one of the other things that we've adjusted is that Geauga West is helping out placing holds for mobile services. Mobile services is overwhelmed with placing holds, and we are sending those to the Geauga West staff. And it's a great collaboration, and it's really helping mobile services, and it's also helping the Geauga West branch. So overall, Public Services is doing a great job keeping up with demand and changing in how they approach services on a weekly basis. So that's my report.
Good.
Oh, wait, I have one question. Sorry. I have been including the weekly circs by hours, and that made a lot of sense at the beginning of the pandemic because we were trying to figure out when we should be open, if we open, and how busy we were with contact-free pickup of holds. I did keep it in this report, but I'm not sure if you still want to continue seeing that for the previous month so you can see how things are changing. Does anyone still want to see those? Do you like seeing those?
I don't think it matters anymore. Like you say, it was at the beginning, yes, it made a lot of sense. Now, not so much.
Okay.
For me, that's my opinion. Everybody else?
Agree. No, yep.
Okay.
Okay.
We can make it available upon request if anyone asks too.
Absolutely. Yeah, if anyone wants to know, they can always ask her.
Yeah, I'm still going to create those because they're good for the managers to see them, but I just won't include them in the pack.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All righty. Human resources.
Hello, everyone. I have human resource actions that I request approval for.
Okay, I need a motion for the human resource actions.
I move that we accept the human resource actions.
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, then I need a roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul, Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake.
Yes.
Let's see, what do you got?
Okay.
Or do your,
Also, we have a retirement and I request a approval for a gift for that part-time employee retiring after many years.
I move that we give a retirement gift to Melody.
yes.
Paul?
Second.
There was another thing. What else was there? Was that it?
Just a retirement gift
Okay.
approved in the human resource actions.
Yes.
Yep, okey dokey. So just the, who gave me a second on that?
That was Paul.
Okay, then I just need a roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul, Larry,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake.
Yes.
Great.
Okay. And now I have personnel policies that need approval. I don't know if you want me to go through each one. If you have any questions on the 4 policies that are listed in the board packet. I just put a little summary for each one.
These are mostly housekeeping.
Yeah, I don't know. Did, you took out educational professional driving?
We just kind of coordinated that a little bit better so it's a little clearer.
Ah,
As you can see, we put titles in there so that way if you're going to something, you can find it a little easier.
it was just cleaning it up.
Yeah.
The big check
Yeah.
unanticipated closures, if everybody read that, because what Chris is recommending is that we have in policy that, for one thing, it was never in policy that we pay employees for a full day of closure. It was just if we started late or closed early. So we made sure it was clear that we would pay them for, say, for instance, it's a blizzard tomorrow and we can't come to work.
Right.
But the other thing that was a big change is that we put in there that we would pay employees for up to a week, up to
If it,
yes, up to a week, up to 4 weeks. Chris, you say it, because I'm gonna say
yeah,
it wrong.
it's,
Up to
well,
4
it's an
weeks.
extended closure. Due to this pandemic, you know, we realized that we kind of really need to spell something out there. And then after that time frame, if the closure is longer than 1 week and does not affect the entire system, staff will be asked to work at locations. And that's if something happens, like there's a tornado that comes through and one building gets hit. We were trying to, you know, kind of include all different kinds of scenarios. And then if the closure extends for more than 4 weeks and we're continuing to compensate non-working staff, it would require the board approval.
Didn't, we have to go to furlough though? I thought we
Well,
couldn't.
that's a discussion. We did this time, but it was more than 4 weeks.
Yeah, but I thought they said we could no longer do that, only school systems could? Were they wrong?
Yes, 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 they did.
There's, I believe they were still waiting on the I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, excuse me, that this was something that the auditor's office was waiting on a finding from the AG. Was that not?
No, they were supposed to pass a law that let us do it, and
Oh.
everybody said they were going to, but they haven't yet. Months later, they haven't done it.
So we're still caught in that we can't do it.
It's kind of a limbo thing that we don't have the authority,
Right.
the legislative, that's not the right word.
But I know,
By code,
Okay.
by Ohio Revised Code. But they
Right.
did say that as long as the board had voted on it and we had that, we should be covered. That was what Michelle
Should-
Francis and Jay
right.
said.
Right.
For the pandemic. This is
Right.
going forward.
that
Right,
the
right,
pandemic doesn't mean for anything else.
correct.
So I don't know if we have the authority to do what you're asking here. that's a question because they didn't pass it. So I'm not sure that is how that works.
Okay.
I mean, if it's longer than a week, then I think at that point we should meet anyway.
Well, you would definitely meet.
Yeah.
with
But
that
you want us to
question.
change it if it's longer than 1 week, that it would require board approval?
Yeah, I would guess, because at that point, we're gonna have to make a decision. Do we follow, what we had to do last time was you can't do that, and we had to furlough. I don't know what they're gonna pass or if they're gonna pass it, so I would say after 1 week, we need to meet to discuss what we should be doing at that point.
Yes.
It's gonna change at some point, but who knows when. So yeah, I don't think we should go a whole month saying, this is okey doke, and when it's not really okay.
Okay.
I think that every week we have to make a decision.
Do you want us to make that change and bring it back in December, or do you want us to
We could do it now. If
do it
everybody,
now? Okay.
if everyone agrees with the wording, I don't see a problem doing it now. Anybody? Everybody okay with that?
I'm fine, Karen, I think you're right.
Raymond?
with it. Yep, I agree.
Good. Paul's
Makes
good.
sense.
Sounds good.
Dave? Larry? Okay, good.
Makes sense.
Yeah, then change the wording to reflect that, and we will vote on it that way.
Okay.
Was there a motion?
I don't know if we got that far yet.
Not yet. There is no motion.
Yeah, we were explaining whether we were going to do them singly or all together, and she was explaining.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's keep explaining then, because we didn't have a motion yet. So,
Oh,
anything else?
Well, the policy 750, that's just an update that you guys had already approved it a while ago, back in February, actually 2019, that the life insurance was going to be contributed at 100%. So I just realized that this policy wasn't updated, so I wanted to put that in there. And then mileage reimbursement, it's like I said, it's just, kind of clarifying, putting some headers in there, rearranging it so it's just more clear.
Okay.
And lastly, again, the retirement, the policy 810, that one too, that one sentence was there, but it really needed a little bit more explanation. And so that's why that yellow is in there, and then just broke it down full-time and part-time, just for more clarity.
Okay.
A lot of this came up because I knew what the policy meant, because I knew how we'd always done it. But then Rita comes in and she's like, that's not exactly what it says. So it's good to just get it all out so everybody understands
Oh yeah,
how
absolutely.
it should be done.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you guys are looking through it and refining it and redoing it as needed, because yeah, it happens all the time and things are changing, especially now. Oh,
Yeah.
lovely. All right, so I need a motion. Let's do them all together. I don't think you need to do them apart. What's the dates? Unless, nah, I don't.
Paul,
Looks like Paul
Paul's my
moved.
motion.
Do I have a second? Anybody?
I'll second. Go ahead, John.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, any further discussion on any of these policies being updated?
Okay, so we are changing that 1 month to 1 week in that unforeseen or emergency closure, right?
Yes.
Good, okay, that was my only question.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, that's just change that one thing to that. Yeah, I don't see a month with not knowing. Okay, if there's no further discussion, then I need a roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes, sorry, I was on mute. Yes.
Paul, Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Committee reports.
Personnel committee report. So we met last Thursday morning, and I believe the minutes are in there. and we reviewed merit pay and recommendations for annual salary increase.
See that Eric Colburn's getting $1,000. Yeah.
Try that. Eric? You were talking about Eric?
Yeah.
Eric? Yeah.
Eric.
Maybe we want to hold this discussion in executive session?
Okay.
This is based on, just so everybody is clear, this is based on performance leading up to, what's the date? August
The date-
31st?
Hold on, I'll get you the dates.
The date is from September 1st, 2019 to August 31st, 2020. That's the
Yep.
review date period.
So evaluations and merit recommendations are based on the performance evaluation period, which ended on August 31st, 2020.
I can hear you. No,
Get close.
for you. Maybe we'll
Okay.
do, I was going to say, since the committee did not decide on a salary increase, maybe we want to move this to executive session?
You
No?
could talk about it. I mean,
Okay, you don't want to move it to executive session? Okie dokie.
go ahead and Raymond and Jake and Josh want to.
I'm waiting, Paul. Go ahead, try again.
Can you type it, Paul?
I can't hear Paul at all.
I cannot either.
Me either.
No.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Paul.
We
Would
heard
love
you
to
so
hear
clear
it.
at the beginning.
Yeah, he was so clear at the
It was
beginning.
crystal clear. Yeah.
Oh, I almost heard you. Almost.
Mike Pope and I are going to try to get him a microphone before the next meeting so that
Oh,
he has
good.
something
That's wonderful.
specific. Maybe we could get a
Oh.
lapel mic or something. So
Yeah, I'll be in contact with you, Paul, and we'll figure out how to get it to you.
We still need to know what he's saying now.
can you type it into the chat box in the conversation?
He said he didn't think so. I can almost.
Paul, I can give you a call and put you on speaker.
Let's do that.
Yes,
But then
yes,
I need
yes.
to.
Let's do
Lisa
that.
Havlin has requested that if somebody drops, we need to mark that. Right now, Jake just sent me a message that his laptop battery died and he's switching over to the phone. So temporarily that, give Paul a call if you can, Mike.
Jake at 4:36.
Yeah, he's switching to the phone, he said.
Paul, you got your cell phone there or your regular phone? Okay, Mike's gonna call you. I don't know, he said he was gonna call you on his cell phone.
Yep, working on it.
He's working
Look up
on
his
it.
number.
He's working on it.
Ed, if you can text me Paul's number.
Hang on, he didn't have your
I'm
number.
I'm on it.
Yeah, Ed's texting it to him. Hang on. That'll. Yeah, he's gonna call you on your cell.
You got it. Did we get Jake back yet?
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please
Paul,
try
is your cell phone on?
Going straight to voicemail, Paul, when I try to call.
So you got to turn your phone. Is your home phone right there? Can he call your home phone, Paul?
Yeah, his home phone's right behind him.
Do you have that, Mike, or do you need me to send that to you?
Can you send it over to me really quick?
Okay, let me get to that.
Or have Paul call them.
Either way, right? You can call him.
Yeah, Paul, you can call my cell phone. It's 440-226-6993.
Okay, Mike, try that number.
Hello?
There we go. All right, Paul.
All right.
Now, Paul, you might need to turn down your computer. There's gonna be some echo. This is kind of a odd way to do this. Yeah, the echo may not be worth it. Feedback. I'm gonna hang up, Paul.
I muted him. You should be okay now.
Okay.
Try it now.
You ready?
There you go.
All right.
Yep.
The time frame.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
The time frame that they
Yeah.
get that cow out of here.
You have to mute your speakers, Paul, or else we're going to get that echo effect.
Okay. All right. Eric was working during the period of time, so he's not included in the.
Can you turn your speakers down, Paul, on your computer?
Yeah, Paul, you need to mute your speakers and your computer.
Turn your speaker volume down on your computer. Just while we get through this.
What if he just left the room?
He could. That's possible too.
Just walk around the door, out the door frame.
All right.
Yeah.
That's better.
Okay. The time for Eric was only from August to August, so his transgressions on the thing are not included. So
Right.
I say we go ahead and vote on them. That's fine.
Yeah,
That was the recommendation.
yep. Okay, gotcha. I know where you're going. Okay. The only thing was, from what I understood, the committee did not decide on a salary increase to bring to the board. Correct?
That's correct. We talked about the proposals that management brought to us, which I believe were 2%, 2.5%, 3%.
Right.
I can let Josh and Jake speak for themselves. I mean, first, we wholeheartedly endorse the level 3 merit pay. Our perception is everybody performed admirably in that period of time under extremely difficult circumstances, and it's well deserved. As far as the percentage salary increase, I was hesitant to go with Ed's recommendation of 3%, simply because there remains a great deal of uncertainty as to what our finances are going to look like next year. This pandemic has lasted a lot longer than I think any of us anticipated, and it looks like it will extend through the year and into next year. Things have looked good as far as what we've been getting from the state, but we don't know if that will continue. And I think so. My position was that I will of course defer to a judgment of the entire board, but it's my position that it's fiscally imprudent for us to go to 3%. I know the amount of money that we're talking about here, the difference is not, and in absolute terms, a lot of money. But, and I'll echo something that Josh said during the meeting, that's not how people will look at it. People will look at it as optics. The optics are the percentage. And so my personal feeling is that we should not go to 3%. I'm also not so concerned about optics that I would opt for no raises. I don't think that's appropriate. We are not in the dire economic circumstances we found ourselves in 2008, in 2007, where we had to cut back. So I'm much more comfortable at either 2% or 2.5%. But we were unable to come to a recommendation. So we're obviously interested in hearing what the rest of the board has to say, and now I'll shut up.
No, that's fine. Thank you. That's good.
I'll
input.
add one more thing to what Ray said. I agree with absolutely everything he said. He covered it perfectly. The one other thing that makes me okay with really any of the numbers, but I'm like him, it's more the optics, is if you looked at that spreadsheet that Lisa sent, any of those raises, the 2, the 2.5, and the 3, brings us up to less than what we had expected to have our salary budget be for this year, because we've had personnel cutbacks and things like that. So even with the raise, we're still less than what we had budgeted for this year going into next year. So no matter what we increase it to, it's still a budget cut from the last budget.
Okay.
And I could tell you ETMs if you'd like as well after Jake, because everybody gave more information in the last few days.
Okay.
No,
Jake.
That's how I feel as well, is what they both said. The committee couldn't quite come to a recommendation on the salary increases, but we definitely feel they're warranted. But to go back to the merit pay, we have such a phenomenal staff. They've done an amazing job. We give them a merit increase, a merit pay every year, and considering so many places that are getting hazard pay this year, we can talk about that a little bit too, with what everyone has had to risk and the way we've kept things moving for the county. We felt we discussed that we also felt it was a little bit of a hazard pay bonus as well.
Okay.
Hey, Ed, do we know what any other systems are doing salary-wise?
Yes, sir. So from yesterday afternoon, Lorraine Public Library did 3% across the board. The Westerville Public Library, so these are the ETM libraries that are our sisters or same size, similar budget, similar territory. Westerville said that the lowest raise anyone received was 3%, so that was 3%. Cleveland Heights University Heights did 3% across the board. This was Delaware County District Library did 3% and merits. Trying to find the others here. Roughly speaking, it's been about that, unless there wasn't a library system that had a union, which I believe that was Greene County. I think theirs was set for a 3-year cycle based on their contract negotiations of a 2, 2.5, and a 3%. And I think they're in the 2.5% year this cycle. So that's what I've got from the folks that have given me information so far of the ETM libraries.
Lisa, what do you feel income-wise, you think?
Well, for next year, the income looks okay. Like I said before, the county has asked us to budget for 3% less. PLF came in 50,000, something like that. It's less, of course, but this year, even with the readjusted PLF estimate, we're already going to be about $2,000 to $5,000 less than the original projection. So the revenue has been coming into the state, and I don't feel like it unless, I mean, who knows? That's the whole problem. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So unless something else drastic happens, the tax revenue based on property taxes should be the same, at least for a couple more years.
Okay.
So. And we did save about $500,000 with just on salaries this year with furloughs and then putting people on reduced hours.
And shared work, yeah.
These increases will take effect September 1st, is that correct?
January 1st. So the first pay in January.
Then what was the reference to 2019 to 8/31/2020?
That's the evaluation period. And the evaluation period ends at the end of August. So we have time to give the evaluations and get the information to the board, and the board
Okay.
can process the information.
So that's the performance period, and then it goes in effect January 1st.
Correct.
Right. Would there be any just things that I've seen in other places, and somebody mentioned it, and I don't think we'd have the flexibility to do it, if we were concerned about the optics, but giving it 3%, because I think there really has been a hardship, whether we label it so or just gave it as a response, that we considered a 3% increase, but at least 1% or 1.5 of it or something like that was for the hardship that everybody's went through. It's a hardship pay, and it would not be something that we would continue to carry over if the finances didn't permit it in the future.
I'm saying you would approve for 2020, you'd approve 3%, but if the economy crashes next year and then 2021, you could take back 1.5 or something like that.
I am not a fan of that approach. If we wanna give hazard pay, then we should tie that to the pandemic, and it should be a separate thing.
Right.
You know, the thing that we sometimes forget here, and I know I always sound like a bucket of cold water, is that we're ratcheting everybody's pay up 3% or 2.5% or 2%. That's permanent, all right? Unless we decide to back people back down,
Right.
that's forever for the term of their employment. They're always going to be at that level and keep going up. So, you know, if we want to recognize that working for us during the pandemic has been especially stressful, and I think it has, especially difficult, and I think it has, then I think we need to find some other way to recognize that and not build that into an annual salary increase.
Right.
Can I mention,
Are you reacting to what I said by any chance, Ray? Was that
Yeah, and if I misheard you, I apologize, Larry.
What's that?
If I misheard you, I apologize, but yes.
I don't know. Maybe I just babbled, but I agree exactly what you're saying, that you know, I would use the term bonus, but we can't do it here, but that it's a one-time thing.
We do
That's
bonus. We do merit.
Huh?
We do merit. We do. Yeah.
Can I mention, and I don't think
I just want to finish and I'll shut up.
Okay.
But I agree with Ray that if you just put it in as a 3% increase, it goes on forever and builds up from there. I was trying to distinguish that between some sort of hardship something, but so I'm just clarifying what I said, and I will go back on mute.
So you were saying give them a merit, like a hazard pay merit payment. And I don't think it was mentioned, and I hope everybody saw that at the bottom of the sheet for the merit payments. We did recommend and include a lump payment to the rest of the employees that were not recommended for merit payment.
Right.
Does that make
the very bottom?
I'm not sure how to say it because it would still be a merit payment, but
it says on the very bottom of the sheet before the final total, the remaining approximately 100. I don't know if you people saw that, but that's I think, Larry, that's where you're going, what you were talking about. So, and Raymond's saying in this category with merit, not with salary, and that's all he was pointing out. So that's just clarifying.
Okay, no problem. I don't have a problem. I just wanted to make sure.
No, it's good. That's fine. And that's why you should ask questions, because you won't learn if you don't ask. My other question is, we have Thompson and Bainbridge coming online, and we have many more employees, not that many, but more. Is that going to affect us in any regard?
As far as Thompson's concerned, no, we're currently operating with staff from either Thompson or Newberry, you know, with those two locations combined. We may have to add a part-time circulation clerk and a part-time shelver when we go back to regular services and resume regular hours there. And then at we projected at Bainbridge that we would also be adding 2 part-time positions there when we resume regular services. So I don't think there's going to be a huge staffing impact with those
positions
two
are
locations.
included. Those positions are included. If you see the column that says 2021 budget amount with no increase, those positions are included in those amounts.
Okay. And when, my second question then would be, when are we thinking of regular hours? Or are we going to go to 7 days a week with reduced hours?
We're reviewing potentially January.
Okay.
Chris and I've had a couple conversations about whether or not to go back to Sundays.
Okay.
But our review right now is to look at what it would look like to start this. We haven't really, this is letting a bit of a cat out of the bag. I don't know if you've shared this yet, Chris, with the management team yet, but.
I have not.
Okay. Well, sorry, managers, you're hearing about it now, but we've talked about the possibility of January 4th to going back.
We've talked about January 4th bringing part-time employees back at 100% of approved hours and resuming more normal business hours, being open on Mondays, still being closed Sundays. We don't get a huge amount of traffic on Sundays anyway, so we would start with Mondays and increasing the hours a little bit. We still would not be back to our normal hours, but it would more closely resemble regular service.
Right. Okay, that's good. That's good. I want to hear that. Okay, so recommendations, people, what do we think? Percentage of increase. I'm personally thinking middle of the road, 2.5. I'm hedging my bets only because we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We never do, but this is tricky, especially because we don't know which way the legislature will go. We don't know which way the taxes will go. It just seems prudent to me, but that's just my opinion. So let me know what you think.
Could I ask another question?
Sure.
Would anybody have any thoughts to doing the following, is that we give them, say, like the 3%, if there's a lot of people giving the 3%, but tell them that we might have to roll it back if things really go bad?
No,
becomes problematic.
Yeah, we don't do that. That's not something we ever do unless we were in dire straits. That's why I'm saying 2.5. I would rather than add to what we're doing, then I would never, ever take it back. We've been in that position before and it's very, very bad. So I never want to be there again. And I don't want to take anything away from someone once I gave it to them. So in that case, that's why I'm saying 2.5, because I don't have a problem if things look really good in July, we could add. But if not, then it'll stay there. But I would never, ever take it away. I would figure something else before I would cut anybody's salary.
Yeah.
Wasn't recommending, just asking. I've seen it, what people do, you know.
No, I know. And I'm just telling you my opinion.
My biggest concern is if there's a lot of people that have, if a lot of people hear that other people are getting 3%,
Well,
and I don't know that's available, my concern would be is that our people don't get 3%.
my feeling though is if you're talking Westerville, Delaware, and those libraries north of Columbus, they're in a very affluent area. They've always been able to buy things and do things and give salaries that others of us cannot. We have to be more prudent with our money than they are. That's just based on where they are, and that's what their population is. It's a little different than ours. So, and I'm not particularly worried about what they are doing. because I know what their position is. I'm more worried about what we're doing. And I know what our makeup is. And I also don't want to find ourselves on the wrong end of the PLF. If the legislature decides, and they have in the past, come through and said, oh, gee, too bad. We're not going to give you that percentage. We're going to give you this percentage. We don't have any comeback. We have to take it. So we can say that's what it is now, but they've been known to change on us. And that's why I feel like I'm middle of the road. So what do you other guys think? Paul, do you have to get on the phone?
On my phone, can you hear me?
Uh-huh. Back up through the doorway.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, I can hear you.
I'll go with the 2.5%.
Okay.
Yeah, I can back that as well.
I'm good with that.
That's
Raymond?
where I was, so I'm okay with it.
Who'd I leave out? Larry?
Fine with me.
Okay. Jake, did you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if there was a recommendation, the personnel committee was closest to that one. I think 2.5 is fine with me.
Josh, good?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. And that's our recommendation is the 2.5%. Sue. Oh, I've lost my agenda. In all my paperwork, I've lost my agenda, people. I know it's here.
Vote on that and also on the merit.
Thank you. Yeah, I found it. All righty. So let's have a vote on the approval of the merit pay at 3%. I need a motion.
Oh, wait.
Merit is not the, unless you
Level
combine the
3.
two, merit pay with the salary
It's
adjustment.
level 3.
Level
Oh, yeah,
3.
level
Level-
3.
Okay, I'm sorry, level 3. Yeah, I was just going to do merit pay at level 3 because they're two different things.
Sure.
Okay.
Need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And further discussion? I need a roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes,
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake.
Yes.
Thank you. Then I need approval of the annual salary increase at 2.5%.
So moved.
I'll second that too.
yeah.
Okay, any further discussion? All righty, a roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Kate, are you there? Are you muted?
I'm sometimes not, but yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake,
Yes.
I love technology. All righty, thank you, everybody. Unfinished business. Anything?
Nothing on the agenda?
Nothing there. New business. Change orders.
So this is called change order 9. And you've got an offset of the permit documents of 1,400 plus, and then a reduction of 1,800 from unused GMP contingency from Middlefield for a change order balance of minus $404. And these are the kinds of change orders that you guys like, that we all like.
I like. All right. I need an approval for that. Paul?
I move approval of it.
I'll second.
okay?
Okay, any further discussion? Okey doke. Give me a roll call.
Karen,
Yep.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake.
Yes.
All righty. All right, so
So this is the neighbor. He owns a number of rental properties. His name is Gary Tepley, and I believe his company's name is listed in there, and yeah, Thompson Rentals LLC. And he has requested an easement to allow for the gas line to reach to his to that property right there next to the just to the north of the Thompson branch. And I ran this by the prosecutor's office, and she said everything looks like it's in order. And she agreed that it was a fine, simple agreement. And if you do approve, Gary Tepley is champing at the bit and would like that signed and scanned as quickly as possible. He tried to get me to just get it to him, and I said, Gary, this is a legal document that requires a board president and secretary. I cannot approve this. It has to go to the board meeting. And so, yes, this morning at 8:47, he texted me and asked me if this was resolved, and I said, the meeting is at 4 p.m., and I will get back with you as soon as I can.
Okay. So I just need to sign this and scan it and send
Well,
it.
I think it needs to be
Has to be
voted on
notarized.
On it.
and notarized.
I don't see. Oh, notarized. Oh, boy. All right. We'll figure
We
that
do-
out.
We have notaries at the administrative center.
True, true. Okay. So I just need, Paul, are you motioning or are you just no?
I-
You're-
I move it. Yeah, I move it.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll second it.
All right. Any further?
Oh,
Did
it's
Karen lock up? Oh, there she is.
Oh, no, there she is.
She locked up for a second.
Yeah,
I love.
We lost you, Karen.
we lost you, Karen. We have, there's just moments like that, you know?
My, I don't know why. I'm here. Hello. I'm still here. Am I
Okay.
still here? Okay, I'm
Yes.
still here. Okey doke. Roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yep.
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake.
Yes.
All righty. Seeing as I'm hopefully still with us, approval of the 2021 meeting dates for the board. And do we want this as such?
We did this as a tentative just so that it is there with the set dates and locations, pending the omnibus legislation in the lame duck session is in the hands of somebody right now that would change this to allow for virtual meetings. But this would just have it as our base should
Okay.
this change in the future.
Okay, and then if we need to, maybe in December, we will, because I'm guessing we will change it. All right, so let's go ahead and give me a motion on the meeting dates. Anybody?
So moved.
Paul,
I need a second.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Josh.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Okey dokey. We're good on that. Now, approval of the November discard list.
I move to approve the discard list.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All right, then I need a roll call.
Karen,
Yep.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Jake,
Yes.
Me too.
Kate. Sorry,
Boost it up.
and Raymond.
Yes.
And you-
Okay,
All right.
sorry.
No, quite all right. Board development? Do we have
So,
any?
yes, for board development, Mr. Rundelli has suggested that he is done at the end of his term in 2021, which will be June 30th. And so the question is, I have not been through this experience before, so this was put to the board for discussion because he said he has his person and he could tell you what his opinion is on this. But Josh would be the president in January. Raymond would be the vice president. Jake would be the secretary. But it's a question of does he want to be the vice president for the 6 months, or does he want to just then kick it back down to the next person from January through June? And
Wait.
Raymond, you can
First of
give
all,
your
I don't
opinion.
think any of us gave you permission to.
Yeah, did it meet with the board approval? I don't remember voting on this.
Yeah, I don't think we gave that permission. So that I think is the first thing we got to straighten out right now.
Well, I told Ed years ago that I was done at the end of this term, and that was always my position. But I think I think the decision's out of my hands. I think the commissioners have made it clear that they're not going to reappoint me anyway. So, if you just want to blame them instead of me, that works. I don't think it makes any sense for me to be an officer for 6 months and then you have to jiggle your officers in the middle of the year. But I serve at the board's pleasure. So if you want me to be vice president for 6 months, I'll do it. But I think it probably makes sense for us to just skip me in the rotation. But whatever you want.
Wait a minute, who's stuck being on the executive?
Oh, no,
who's
Jake.
next?
Well, then
Jake.
it would be,
It'd be
Jake
me,
would be,
right?
you would
I
be
moved into
the new secretary, Kate. Yep.
So it'd be
You would be-
Josh, Jake, and Kate.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. That's
Okay,
fine.
and then
Fortunately, I don't have a problem with it. You're not one of the three, Karen.
Who told you?
so in the way that we generally do this, we would say be prepared for the December meeting to nominate up the same panel. I mean, we've got it all written down and it tends to follow a formula, but nevertheless, the formality is that this would be something and then we would vote on it in January. So just giving you all the heads up. And then Raymond has advised me for the last probably 6 to 8 weeks to begin looking for other trustees, which I have begun that process. And we'll get some names and we'll look at the folks who applied last time and get that to you to take a look at. And we can then make a recommendation from the board to the commissioners as we traditionally do based on the names we get.
Okay.
Okay.
Is
You may also want to consider advertising it.
Oh, absolutely. We will advertise.
And the commissioners have made clear their misinterpretation of our own policies that, and I think you can fairly say that you're anticipating a vacancy at this point, so.
That's correct.
Right.
So yeah, I will advertise. We'll go through the whole proper channels and the whole, everything the way it is supposed to be. Yep.
Okay, good. Also, it just occurred to me, Kate has served. Kate, how long have you been on the?
Not very long, but
the
I'm done with the Library Foundation Board.
She has got family obligations, so she's unable to continue on the foundation board as of January 1st. So think about it. Who wants to jump on to take her place? Last December. She's just got family stuff. She just can't be everywhere at once. She's got to help with her family. So that's not going to happen for her anymore.
We're moving in about 2 weeks.
They are. They got things happening in her household. So she'll be busy. So think about it. Somebody needs to sit on the foundation board. All righty. So that takes care of that. Beck, over to you. Foundation. Speaking of.
Hi. Good evening, I guess it is, everybody. The first thing I'd like to address today is some of the feedback that we've been getting in regards to the restructuring of the Foundation and Partners organization. We have to admit that we were somewhat surprised at how much that's being reflected back to us is not what we've been trying to communicate. So I hope today I can correct some of these misperceptions of the Foundation's vision. One of the first things I wanted to address is that we are creating a new model. This is not a consolidation, it's not a merger, and it's certainly not a takeover of the Friends groups. We have recommended that the funds that the Friends groups have raised in the name of GCPL be either spent, donated to the foundation, or gifted directly to the Geauga County Public Library. We think that this would be respecting the intentions of their contributors, but ultimately the choice of how or whether they're going to dispose of their funds is up to each of these individual organizations. We also hope that those that have raised doubts about this approach understand that the bank accounts of these friends groups have nothing to do with this change. It's about planning for the future. It's about engagement. It's about furthering the mission of GCPL and strengthening the relationships between the community and the library system as a whole. We are a library system of branches, and it's how we operate. It's how we're funded. And certainly we're not saying that patrons and volunteers can't have relationships with their home branches. We hope they do. But we are saying that we can better support our volunteers and our fundraising efforts with this system-wide approach. So our friends of the library are our most dedicated supporters and our strongest advocates. And we are hoping that they will join us in playing a larger role in helping us build this organization. The committee that we're building to launch this new Geauga County Library Foundation and Partners group has been meeting regularly, and some great fresh ideas are coming out of those meetings. We have a dedicated group of volunteers that consists of a few foundation board members and some individuals from the Geauga West Friends of the Library. This week, we're inviting members that expressed an interest in being involved from the former Thompson Friends group and the Bainbridge Friends groups. So our goal for this committee is to be ready to start actively recruiting members for 2021 in the next 4 to 6 weeks, once we have a better picture of how it's going to operate.
Whoops, you're muted. You're muted.
You
muted.
accidentally muted
Oh,
yourself.
that was sensitive. That was just my paper that touched it. Okay, sorry. Did you hear everything I just said?
No.
That last bit, just that last bit, like one sentence maybe.
That I said our goal is to be ready to start actively recruiting for 2021 for new members in about 4 to 6 weeks once we have a better picture of how we're going to operate. Okay. So our stay-at-home fundraiser last month in October, we raised $5,125 for the Foundation's general fund. We were satisfied with not only the fundraising, but that we were able to reach so many new donors on an online platform, which we'd never done before. So it was a great learning experience. And we'll do it again. And then the fourth thing I have here is some good news about the Ohio Governor's Imagination Library. They just announced last week that all 88 counties in Ohio are participating. So that's easier for us to be able to refer people that live on the border of Lake County, Portage County, Cuyahoga County, if they want to participate. Now, every kid under the age of 5 in Ohio can participate. So that was good news. So they reached their goal for 2020, and the other good news is that we did too in Geauga County. So we currently have 1,324 Geauga County kids enrolled. That was 30% of the eligible kids. So we are really happy that we were able to get that enrollment and reach that goal for 2020. And next week, we are going to roll right into our next online fundraiser. Specifically, I think I mentioned it last meeting, it's a national fundraiser for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. It's exclusively on Facebook. And every affiliate of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library is invited to participate. So our board has decided that we're going to do this. And then we also have another big enrollment initiative happening in partnership with the Chesterland Rotary. In December, we're going to be doing a mass mailing to everybody in the West Geauga School District to try to jumpstart enrollment and to create some awareness for the program too. And that's all the news that I have.
Can I add one bit that you didn't, because I know you wouldn't have said this, but you were featured in the governor's speech. There was a video about Dolly Parton, and Becky was there talking, and I had trouble not laughing because I remembered the blooper video where the tree fell behind you in the background at that same moment.
That was the uncensored version outtake. But yes, if anybody watched the whole hour and 20-minute press conference last week, you would have caught me at the tail end. So that was a good exposure for Geauga County and what we're doing here.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks.
All righty. Let's see. Comments from the public? Nobody? Okay. I need a motion to go to executive session, and then we will move to executive session, and those people can stay till we come back. But we will be moving to executive session once I get a motion.
I move that we move to executive session.
For the purposes of, what did we say this one? Do you have to have that language or not?
It does. And
Yes, Lisa says you have to have that language. Okay.
I asked for this. Raymond, do you have?
Yeah, the specific language is to consider investigation of complaints against a public employee. That's out of the statute.
Okay, we got it.
I still move we do that.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Then I need a roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake.
Yes.
And now people find your new channel. We're moving to the executive session.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, you're staying behind so we can make sure everybody gets over.
Correct. I'm here.
Mike and I can stay, Chris and
To
Lisa,
end.
unless you.
Yeah. So I got to record the.
Okay, great.
Right. We can stay so
All
you
right.
don't have to stay in the office.
Okay.
We're just
thank-
going to stay till they come out and record the time.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And we're back.
Okay, this is 5:39.
You got it. Okay. I don't, the heck is all over my phone? Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody?
Is everybody back?
I think we're still waiting on Paul.
Jake, Josh, Kate, Raymond, Larry? Anybody see Larry?
I see his LP down there.
I see Larry on
Yeah,
camera.
Larry's here.
Yep,
Larry's here. Okay, everybody made it back?
Larry is muted. I think
don't see
many folks are
Paul.
muted.
Just
I'm
Paul.
muted.
Oh. I didn't see Paul. You're right.
I'm trying to get him back. See if he's still on the other one. He is not over in the other meeting.
Okay, well, at least we know he left there.
He may be off.
There he is. I see him.
There he is.
Oh,
There he is.
He's
Ah.
muted. You're muted, Paul. Just so you know, if you're trying to say anything, just thumbs up or thumbs down or hand gestures.
Okay. Raymond, do you have?
Sure. I have a motion to make. The motion is that the board is going to authorize the engagement of Meredith Shoop, SHOOP, at the firm of Littler Mendelson, and I'll send you the spelling on that, to conduct an investigation into complaints about a public employee. The scope of the representation will authorize an expenditure of up to $15,000. And the board will appoint Ray Rondelli and Jake Yanchar as Meredith's points of contact and authorize Raymond to sign the engagement letter.
Thank you. Any second?
I will second that.
Thank you, John. Any further discussion? Then I need a roll call. Can my roll call?
Karen, can I have who first and second? I'm sorry, I was writing.
Yeah, I only got the second. I didn't see
Oh,
the first.
Raymond did the first.
Okay.
Josh, second.
Josh?
Uh-huh.
Josh.
Okay, you need a roll call?
Yep.
Karen?
Yep.
Josh?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Oh, I can hear you.
I heard
Larry?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Okay. Super. Then that's it. Okay, then I just need a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
With Josh and Kate?
Yep.
5-3. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Stay safe.
Have a
You
great
too.
night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.